Hello, everyone. I'm Celine Roche, the founder of Voyage Celeste, and I'm here today with John Lockley. Welcome, John.
Hi,
And
Celine.
thank you. I'm so happy because we've been talking about us doing an event together, and finally, uh, this is happening. So we'll be hosting an event together this November, and I'm really, really delighted to finally, share this experience with you. And I'll be hosting this event here in France, near Geneva, less than an hour from the Mont Blanc. So thank you again, John, for coming to France, for providing the teaching here to our in our country. And I know that some people, maybe from the UK, from Belgium, from Switzerland, will also be willing to come to France for your venue. It's a very special event, and I'm very, very happy to assist you during your visit. So I will be doing a translation for non-English speakers who would like to attend. So I'm just going to mention the date to start our little interview here. So it would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday on November 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So let's start by explaining this 3-day course, Leopard Medicine, Ancestral Healing and Reconnecting Ceremony. Could you please tell us, what is your description of this event so our participant can, you know, join us?
Yes, well, thank you so much, Celine. Thank you for inviting me. So, I'm going to be doing a 3-day ancestral healing retreat, and it's based on a 3-day practice that I've been doing all over the world, and in particular in South Africa, in Zululand, and also at my dreams and tracking retreats every year in Botswana. So, what it is I create an altar, an ancestral altar, a shrine, and then I play my drum and I chant in Xhosa, the Xhosa language, and I invoke and welcome in the ancestors, the ancestral world, the spirit guides, nature spirits. So I bring them into that space that I've created. So I create this beautiful, altar, ancestral altar, and then I teach participants how to connect to their own ancestors and how to connect to their own spirit guides and the nature spirits. And it's a very simple but very dynamic process, and it requires a certain amount of mindfulness, but it's also lots of fun. And I play my drum and I chant, and we're going to dance together as well. I'm going to be teaching people the trance dance, and we're going to be working with plant medicine. Non-hallucinogenic plant medicine is going to be one of the center ceremonies of the retreat, and that's to cleanse people, to help them connect to the dream time, to the spirit world. and uh, and then we're going to carry on dancing and singing and doing some drumming from my side, the drumming, and then there's going to be some dreaming. We're going to talk about dreams and the relevance of dreams and how to understand and navigate your own dream time. So these 3 days are going to be a very beautiful offering for everyone, because when we are praying together and connecting with our ancestors, we're helping the natural world and we're also helping our ancestors. So it's very communal and it's very engaging, and it's all about, in Xhosa and Zulu, we all talk about Ubuntu. It's all about Ubuntu, and Ubuntu in English means humanity. So in essence, the 3-day practice is about connecting to our own Ubuntu, our own humanity, and the tree of life. The tree of life meaning our ancestors, but also the natural world. So as we come into alignment with our own spirit and our own ancestors, we come into alignment with our relationship with the natural world, with the land, with the plants, with the animals. And so this is the focus of the work. So I'm very excited to share this with people in France near Geneva. It's going to be very exciting.
Thank you so much. We're very happy to host you soon. And I'm just coming back from quite a long trip in Mongolia, and I'm very happy to really support, the traditional teaching that you've gained, from South Africa. And it's very important that today we seek, those cultures that have, ancestral wisdom and important information to share with us. And it doesn't mean that it's not available here, in Europe, for example, or elsewhere. But it's really a privilege to be able to exchange, to share, and to learn from those traditions. So again, it's really an honor to host you soon here. Um, could you now tell us a little bit about what does the leopard symbolize in Xhosa tradition, and why is it such a powerful animal?
Yes, so the leopard represents natural intelligence. It represents supreme intelligence of nature because the leopard is in tune with all its six senses and is able to navigate the light and the dark. It's able to navigate the twilight worlds. So the leopard is our example of what happens when we connect to nature and our ancestors. We're able to harmonize those spaces of light and dark, and we're able to maximize our own power and our own natural wisdom, our own natural intelligence. Call it intuition. So as we align our spirit with leopard or leopard medicine, as we see the leopard as a totem animal and teacher that we can learn from, as we do that, then we are calling for that intuitive wisdom inside of us to open up and start to flower. So in South Africa, we have the emblem of the leopard in terms of the leopard skin or fake leopard skin on most traditional healing shops and shrine homes and traditional healing consulting rooms all over the country. You'll see leopard skin or like I say, fake leopard skin as a symbol, as a totem symbol of what we are striving for as human beings, as traditional healers, as traditional sangomas and shamans, is to merge our spirit with the spirit of nature and open up all our senses. And human beings have one sense that the leopard doesn't have. We have seven senses, and that seventh sense is the sense of manifestation. And this is what I'm going to be talking about on the retreat, and I'm going to be focusing on that. But before we are able to manifest, we have to open up those six senses, and that is where leopard medicine and the pursuit of leopard medicine is very powerful and very important.
Wonderful. So, lot to learn from you when you come here. And also, could you speak about the three foundations of leopard medicine? You know, I've been talking about breath, bone, and dream. Uh, could you explain, to our audience what each represents, and how does the teachings connect with the philosophy of Ubuntu, which means humanity, as you mentioned earlier?
Yeah. So the three foundations is the bone, or sorry, the breath, the bone, and the dream. Breath, bone, and dream. So first, as a human being, we have to come into ourselves. We have to align with our own nature. So we have to consciously, mindfully bring in the breath and let the breath animate the body. So bring the breath into the body, and as we're doing that, then the next thing is to connect with our bones. And we connect with our bones physically and metaphysically. So first, the physical connection is just feeling your bones, and then as you feel your bones and you're connecting with your own physicality, then you drop into the next level, that metaphysical level of the bone, and that is our ancestors and our connection to our own humanity. And as we connect more deeply with that, it opens us up to the third foundation of the work, and that is the dreams. So what is happening in the dream time? What is happening in the dream time is always a manifestation or a reflection on our practice in the waking state. So as we bring the breath in, and we fire up the bone in our bodies, and we fire up our relationship with our ancestors and our humanity, then the dreaming opens. And we talk about, in Xhosa and Zulu, uvulunlela. Uvulunlela means opening the road. So the ancient road inside of you, which is that ancient road to your consciousness, to who you are, beyond the color of your skin and your gender and your culture. The consciousness inside of you is like a wind, and that wind travels between the worlds. As you come into that wind, then uvulunlela, the old ways open, and then you get to see your life path and your vocation. So those are the three aspects. And then you mentioned Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the word for humanity. And this is all the teachings I'm bringing to you are all encapsulated within the teachings of Ubuntu, Ubunzulu. Ubuntu, Ubunzulu means the depth of humanity. So we come into our humanity through welcoming in the breath. We come into our humanity through accepting our life. But as my elders say, we are all born human, but we have to make a decision to become human. So you make a decision to engage with your humanity through intentional practice of welcoming the breath in, intentional practice of connecting with your umoya, with your own soul, and then intentional practice of connecting with your bones and your ancestors, which then opens the door to your humanity and the human race. And then it connects with the tree of life. So the Ubuntu teachings is all about teachings to help people connect to the tree of life, which is not just your own ancestors, but it's also the animals outside. It's also the plants. It's also the nature spirits. So this is what makes the teachings very electric and very dynamic. Is first we fire up our own spirit and our own spine, and then we watch for that reverb, like a good drum or a good musical instrument. We listen to the sound of the drum, the reverb, after our practice, after our chant, and that is found in the dream time. And then we listen to what the dreams say. So this is the practice, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with people.
That's beautiful. And, you've been working with many people around the world, different cultures. So I was talking a little bit about traditions earlier, and um, could you tell us, for example, if someone has comes from a very specific tradition? We all do in some ways. So, but some people have learned, for example, core shamanism. Some people are comes directly from their own tradition. So, do you think your teachings, your traditional teachings, are accessible to everyone?
Yes, yes, because these teachings you can use no matter what tradition you're from. You can use the elements of how to connect with your ancestors, how to connect with your nature spirits, which is the same in every culture. So every human being, doesn't matter what your culture is, what your gender is, what language you speak, every human being needs to be able to connect with their ancestors. It's like a basic human education that we should actually be taught at school. So if we went back 2,000 years ago, or maybe 3,000 years ago in Europe, we'd all know how to connect to our ancestors. But these old teachings have been forgotten, so that's why we pay attention to traditional shamanism, like in Mongolia and Tibet and in South Africa and other places where these shamanic lineages are still intact, and they can show us how we can connect to our earth people and our bone people. And because it's very important now that as we connect with our ancestors, we are also then connecting to the wilderness. We're also then connecting to the plants and the animal worlds. So yes, it doesn't matter what tradition or what background people are from, they can learn from these teachings, because this is the basic teachings I'm offering, which is what I call Ubuntu 101, which is the basic foundation in being a human being, and engaging with your ancestors and your dreams. That's what I'm teaching.
Mm. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving us all those information. And also, you've been talking about plant cleanse, which will be part of the ceremony. So, can you tell us more a little bit about its purpose and the effects?
Yes, the purpose of the plant cleanse is to protect the dreamer, so protect the person when they're dreaming, and also to cleanse them. And so we're going to hold this space in a particular way. I'm not going to give too much information about it, but just a basic information. That is, we're going to be using the plants in a particular way, in a ceremonial way, to open up that connection between the person and their ancestors. And so it's a little bit of a mindfulness practice that I'm going to be leading people on with my drum and with chanting. But as I say this, I just want to make it clear with people that I'm not going to be doing hallucinogenic medicine. Okay, that's not the practice from South Africa. In South Africa, we work with non-hallucinogenic medicine. Okay, so the plants we've got is an ancient recipe on helping people to connect to their ancestors, and it's to open up your senses and also to protect you when you go into the dream time. So these are the two elements with plant medicine. It's always protective and cleansing. So
Mm.
as we cleanse the aura from toxicity and the exhaust fumes of daily life, as we cleanse our bodies, then it's easier for us to receive messages from the dream time. And it's just like like any kind of satellite dish or some kind of communication dish. You know, human beings are like these wires of information, and sometimes we just need to clear the channel. We just need to clear our bodies so that we can receive more clearly the information that comes to us from the physical world, but also from the dreaming. And so that's what we're going to be doing.
Excellent. And um, maybe you can tell us, because you've been sharing about dream work. So, how can dream work help people to discover their life purpose?
Well, once we connect and open up to our own spirit, our own soul, then that soul energy starts to rise up. So when we talk about the soul or the spirit, we're talking about that part of us that doesn't die. So once you connect to that part, it starts to rise up inside of you, and often it shows itself to you in your dreams. And once we navigate and listen to that, then that part of us naturally starts showing us what direction to go in, so that we find more love, more joy, more joie de vie, more the joy of life, Um, and so this is how dreams help us. Dreaming is almost like the North Star inside of us. It's the navigator. The dreaming inside of us helps to navigate us to our spirit, our soul, and that part of us that helps us connect to the tree of life, to all of life on planet Earth and the next world. As we navigate our lives with our dreams and feel our dreams, then we are able to navigate and move around the obstacles that comes with living in a modern world. And so this is part of the teaching, is how do you navigate your world? How do you navigate your life with the dreams that you have? So I'm going to go into quite a lot of detail with the dreams and how to work with your dreams, and also how to bring these dreams on. That's very important. A lot of people nowadays come to me and they say, I don't remember my dreams, John. What can I do? And we'll do the ritual of cleansing with herbs, the ritual of mindfulness meditation, the ritual of working with our ancestors and nature spirits, invoking them, and certain practices I'm going to be teaching people to bring on these dreams, and then also other practices will be on how to navigate the dreaming once you start to get these dreams. So it's a dynamic practice, and it's an exciting practice, and it does require concentration and mindfulness and effort. It does require that from each person, but it's an action of joy, the joie de vie, the joy of life. It's very exciting, I find, and it's exciting because once we start to connect to that dreaming, we are connecting to something so deep inside of us that goes beyond this physical body. We're connecting to our own immortality, and that's the diamond. That's the diamond within the practice. And once that starts coming alive, then things start getting very exciting for people,
Yes, I understand. So, uh, maybe to end this, you know, video that talks about this event, maybe the last question I'd like to ask you is, what has been the most powerful for you, in your experience with leopard medicine?
Well, so many powerful moments, so many. I think I can just share one of the powerful moments for me recently was when I was in the Kalahari Desert and I had constructed my shrine tent in the heart of the desert. And then one of the Bushman elders asked if he could participate in the shrine tent teachings the next day. And I said, yes, of course. So he came the next day with his whole family. They all came and we all prayed together around the ancestral altar. And they prayed in their language of cliques, the Khoi language. And then there was people praying in Vietnamese, English, Xhosa, Afrikaans. So that was one of the highlights of my practice. And then afterwards, one of the Bushman elder, a man who invited or who asked to join us in the ceremony, he just had tears rolling down his face, and he was so moved by the altar that he couldn't leave the altar. He was just there with his tears moving down his face, and it was so moving. And then we moved back from the altar, and then I gave him a gift of one of my sangoma fabrics. And as I did that, there was a sound of this bird that came flying over the tent. And we looked up, and it was a vulture that was flying low, and it was just flying over us. And that was seen as a very auspicious sign, because the vulture is one of the sangoma medicine totem animals, because the vulture can see for many, many kilometers, like thousands, hundreds of kilometers a vulture can see. And a vulture has the medicine of being able to transmute poison. It helps to transmute poison in the natural world. So it was a very powerful image of that vulture flying low, and then the two of us embracing, me and the Bushman elder. So that was one of my recent highlights of leopard medicine, and there have been many others, but that was my recent one.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing this precious moment with all of us. Thank you so much. And we can also, experience all this with you, and that will be in November. So I'm going to mention the date again. It's going to be a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in November 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And I'm also very happy to share a bonus offering. We've been talking about it. We've been preparing this together with John, and we have this amazing opportunity to be very close to the Alps here. So, in addition to the 3-day workshop, we have prepared a unique experience at the foot of the Mont Blanc. So, we will spend a day hiking with a professional guide. To connect with and offer blessing to the mountains, the glaciers, and the eternal snow of Mont Blanc. And for those of you who may not know, it's the highest peak in Europe. It's quite a powerful place. So I'm very happy we can do that together and do some work in the mountains. So that's a bonus offering during your visit. So if you are interested, all of you, in participating in this unique event, you'll have all the information below in my newsletter. And if you need any further information, you can contact me or John, and all my information are listed in the newsletter. We are looking forward to hosting you, both John and I. And John, if you'd like to end this quick interview, if you'd like to share something with all of us, you're welcome.
Thank you, Celine. Thank you so much. And thank you for this invitation to France, to the home of some of my ancestors, my French ancestors, the Banvilles from Normandy, from Brittany, sorry, not Normandy, from Brittany. And I'm so excited to go to France. So I thought I'd just do a little chant, chant to invoke our ancestors and open the road for this beautiful ceremony. So for those of you who would like to come in the ceremony, you're going to hear me chanting and singing in this particular way. So here we go. So we give blessings to all our ancestors. Amanyange means our blood ancestors, our bone ancestors, but Amanyange also means nature spirits. And it's a core part of the work. Is first we connect to our bones, and then we connect to the nature spirits. And this is part of the pilgrimage we're going to be doing on the 24th, Monday after our retreat. We're going to climb up the highest mountain in Europe, the Mont Blanc. And it's about making offerings to our European ancestors and the nature spirits, and saying, we are here, we remember you, we are alive, and we give you offerings of grace and gratitude. So it's an important ceremony, it's an important pilgrimage, and we're doing it for all our relations, for all our friends and family, not just for our own practice. So if you'd like to participate, then please join us, and we look forward to hosting you and spending time in ceremony with you in France. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone. And we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.